Because me personally, before I even step out with somebody, we already locked in for real. Like we're already twins by the time you see me outside with somebody. Like we already really rock with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I just don't be relating to a lot of the stuff that I be seeing these men go through, man. And I don't know what to tell them.
To your point, Noble, a lot of these dudes you cannot tell them anything. They are destined to lose. I can't shy away from that. I can't. I know the truth. I'm just saying we can improve the rate of solid men if they did have mentorship or a solid group of men around them. We would improve ourselves as a whole as men if we had that circle. If dudes had their own circle of strong, solid men around them. But nah, we don't disagree, bro. I get it. It's sad, but I guess that's how hypergamy works. If you do the work and you see the playing field, you do the work to be successful. More for you, bro. More for you.
You said it. The playing field's a lot, but like you said, these men they not self aware. Like, but honestly, I like when I think about it now, I just don't even think so. But a lot of these men don't even understand the game for real. Definitely isn't his fault.
Please
Yasmin,
come up,
how is
Yasmin.
it not his fault, Yasmin?
No, Yasmin, please come up. We even me playing devil's
I would
advocate.
love to hear another black woman's take on this. How is this not his fault?
Please. She requested. You want me to
Yeah,
accept?
but yeah, she did go about it in a horrid way, man. She was terrible.
Nah.
Hi guys, can you guys hear
Eh,
me?
Yeah,
Hey.
we can hear you. Where you from,
Okay.
Yasmin?
UK, London.
Oh, okay.
No, she sound like this artist I listen to.
Got the London things in the building, yeah.
I'm
IMDb.
dead.
No.
But yeah, so my thing is, right? First things first, I'm assuming Cheesecake Factory is like a she said it was a chain restaurant. So equivalent to us. I'm just trying to figure out what it would be. But it's like, is it like a step over like Burger King and so on? Or am I getting it confused?
Super would better be able to tell you. I personally have never been to a Cheesecake Factory before, so Super, you can tell her about Cheesecake Factory if you want to.
Cheesecake Factory is a little bit. It's like a mid-tier restaurant. It's not like
Oh.
So
it's it's a
it would be like Nando's, Yasmin.
Oh, so do they serve like actual food then, or is it just desserts?
Yeah.
no. They
No, they
serve
sell
food.
food.
Oh, so
It's
it's like a TGI Fridays type of thing.
yeah, a little
He
bit
does.
better. A little bit better than a. It's
Oh,
like a
okay.
notch or two. So yeah.
Right. Okay, cool. So first things first, I'm not an advocate for taking a girl to Cheesecake Factory. Now, however, maybe he planned a nice restaurant for her. She comes out in a purple lipstick and a green dress.
Yeah.
Sorry, but
Right.
if a guy comes out and um I'm meant to go to a nice strip with him, a nice restaurant or so on, right? And he comes out wearing a tracksuit, or maybe it's not looking up to par. I am not finna embarrass myself in a high quality restaurant, sitting in front of you. I'm not doing it. So maybe he thought to himself, I thought I was attracting a woman of a high standard, a high class, and I can't take you out with me to a certain restaurant because, sorry, but you're just not looking the par. She's not. Let's be real. And she's here talking about, oh, I deserve better. Maybe you do. Maybe find your own lane in men. But he don't look like someone who wants a purple lipstick woman. He doesn't.
Yasmin, how old are you?
22.
So okay, I just have a quick question before you continue. So, you said that you personally wouldn't recommend a man if he's taking a woman out on a date to eat. You wouldn't recommend that he take her out to Cheesecake Factory. I'm just curious as to why that is. Again, I've never been to
Okay.
Cheesecake Factory, but like
Yeah.
where as a 22-year-old,
hmm
if a man is taking you out to eat, where do you expect him to
I'll
take
be
you and why?
honest. It's very different. It's all depending on like caliber of woman, if that makes sense. And I'm not saying, oh yeah, I hold myself so. Actually, no, tell a lie. I do hold myself highly. That's a lie. If I was to say I don't hold myself highly, I am used to a certain type of like luxuries, if that makes sense. And if a guy is proposing to me on a first day that he's willing to take me TGI Fridays, in my head, I'm just thinking, okay, so maybe like, he's not trying to take me too serious, or maybe he wants to take me as a joke. Or in my head, I'm just thinking, if you aren't putting so much effort into this date and you aren't willing to make this a nice experience for me personally, you just don't like me. That's how I'm thinking automatically in my head, right? Does that make sense? So if a woman is not used to going to luxury, she's not used to it at all. I'm not saying that you can't expect it, but if you can't do it for yourself, just don't expect anyone else to do it. So there is babes that will go to Nando's or TGI Fridays for a first date. Not an issue. That's your caliber in men. Do you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
No, that 100% makes sense.
Yeah.
As you said, um, if you can't do it for yourself, it's not really a reasonable expectation to expect a man or another person to do it for you. However, Yasmin, I can tell you that most of these women here in the States, especially like, our women, a lot of them, really can't afford to take themselves to these places.
Yeah.
They really do only go to these places on a holiday, on a birthday, when there's a special occasion going on.
Where's
But
the Groupon?
despite what I'm saying being the truth and it being their reality, they still think that, excuse my language, but they still think that they're a hibachi bitch. They still think that they're a steakhouse bitch. So like a man need
I
to take them
agree.
to the best 4 or 5 star restaurant in the city.
You
You
know
know,
what? I totally agree with you. I see this whole thing on TikTok, especially with the US girls. I'm not even trying to come for you girls, but like you guys have a lot of aesthetics that go on over there. Like everyone's half naked. I'm not understanding why everyone is half naked, but it's beyond me. Everyone is aspiring to be strippers. I don't get it. I will never understand it. What's going on over there? But then it's like you're half naked and you're telling a guy, oh, I deserve this. Sis, you're promoting the goods that should be seen to him in the bedroom to everyone else. And you're talking about, oh yeah, I should be courted and I should be this. What do you mean? What are you giving to him that's special that everyone else in the restaurant is seeing? Your boobs are leaking out your dress. And you're talking about, oh, I should be a high quality woman. What? What?
The thing is, these women do attract more than what we call the conservative or the good girls. I got to keep it a buck. I mean, I do agree with you. It's a short term win. You're gonna win more dates. You're gonna win more sexual attention, but you gonna really win the men in the end. But
I
that's why a lot of them see women that do dress a certain way, that they get the most attention. So that's what they do.
so Yasmin, so you disagree with me when I said that it was his fault. So I want to tell you why I believe and I ultimately am going to stand on
Mhm.
it being his fault, and then you could tell me why you disagree or why you think it's not whatever. But
Mhm.
listen, there's a lot of men out here that they've never had any emotion with women. Um, they're not satisfied with the woman that do like them. They don't like the woman that like them. And instead of going to do the self improvement, to get different outcomes and change their circumstances and better be able to attract the woman that they actually desire. Like you're a woman, Yasmin. You're very paying, right? So I'm sure
Oh
even you
no.
yourself, you have a lot
Oh,
of men that are
absolutely.
you have a lot of men that are talking to themselves, that have conversations with themselves in your DMs, and that you completely ignore and stuff. So the point I'm trying to make is there's a lot of men here, just in the world in general, that they try to bite off more than they can chew, for real. They're trying to reach for something that their arm can't reach. They're overstepping their boundaries. They like and want attention from women that don't like them at all. So it's like, I don't know if you saw this video, Yasmin, but this man waited in the car for an hour for this woman to come outside, Yasmin. Like, what man that really has motion with women, what man that really has options is gonna let a woman play in his face like that? That's strike number one. Strike number two, you get out of your car to go, open her car door for her, and she hits you with she essentially tells you, like, I'm not letting you take me here. And then you have her recording you and you're explaining yourself on the camera to her and doing all this other stuff. Like, this is his fault at the end of the day. He should have left when she wasn't ready by the time he told her to be ready. And then you wait there for an hour when you could have just left and went about your day. Like, this is his fault. Like, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say. A lot of problems that people have in life, a lot of people's problems are self-inflicted. So, this is his fault. He put himself in this position, and he's either going to learn from it or it's going to continue to happen. But what do you think? Go ahead.
I think that a lot of men love to reach. They know that there's a certain type of woman. Well, all men fantasize about being with a type of woman, right? And they understand that they know what their level is. They understand that maybe a woman is not in their league, but they're still gonna try and talk to her. They're still gonna shoot their shot. So it's an every man situation. It's not just him alone. It's a lot of men do it. You're still gonna shoot your shot because it's like, well, I know what's the worst that can happen, really, right? I mean, he fucked around and he learned this time round. He learned his lesson this time round. I'm hoping. And with this, the reason why I feel so bad for him is because he was able to communicate efficiently everything. Do you know what I'm saying? He did not get mad at her. A lot of men in this society today will turn around and straight away and be like, why are you recording me? Take this camera out of my face. But then it was a situation where he was so respectful in the manner that he spoke to her, and she still held that camera in his face. Firstly, she's disrespectful. She was not raised like adequately at all. How do you have a cam? Someone's talking to you, face them in the face. You want to be holding up a camera? But then when they flip out on you, oh, I'm the victim, right? Oh, everyone help me. And he flipped out on me. No, you're disrespecting him in his own vehicle. And then, like, I don't really understand this. It's furthermore, her hair isn't even done. It's not done. She's had those braids in for at least 4 or 5 weeks pushing. And you
Mm.
want to sit in this man's car talking about, oh, I look like a cheesecake factory. Yes, you do. Let's be honest. He didn't want to say it, but you do. You've got purple lipstick on. That's matte lipstick. That's 2016, sis. Why are we still doing this? You got
Yikes.
massive massive earrings on, and you want to be taken out to a posh restaurant. I just don't get it. In what mindset? Like, who? He looks like he's not someone that, how do I say, there's a lot of people that have money, but they don't like to spend too much on themselves, right?
Right.
And those people, especially the older ones, like 30 plus, when they do things like that, they love to treat other people around them more than they put money into themselves. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
So with her, if she played it really smart, he would have been pouring his pockets out to her, especially with his whole fetish about black women. Like he would be pouring his wallet out to her. She did not play it right. Her hair, she was giving cheap. She was giving
Yeah.
cheap from the moment she stepped out. And then it was the contradiction of, I look cheap, but I expect expensive. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't. It's like when you go into a store. If you look a particular way, like, for example, we've got Selfridges over here, which is like a department store. It's got like
Hmm.
multiple different brands and so on, right?
Hmm.
Even Hatton Garden. Have you guys heard of Hatton Garden?
No.
It's
I
a
haven't.
store. Oh, okay, yeah. So I used to work there, right?
Okay.
I don't really work there no more. But it's like when guys used to come into our shop, right? Automatically in my head, and it's bad, but I'm gonna judge you straight away. I'm looking at what you're wearing, and now I'm gonna think, am I gonna waste my time getting you to buy a Rolex, or am I not? Or you just a window shopper? Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like I'm judging you straight from how you're looking, and if you look like you've got the means and so on, and you know what you're talking about, okay, now I'm gonna entertain you, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm trying to oversell things to you because you're
Right.
worth the time. When you walk in looking a certain way, I'm not entertaining that. I'm sorry, but I'm not. And that's the same with her. It's like she came out looking cheap. You're gonna get treated cheap. That's what it is really. So and I felt bad for him because it's like he didn't deserve that. He communicated his way very, very effectively. If she felt so disrespected, sis, book a Uber and go home. She wanted a free ride home. That's what it is. She couldn't even afford a ride home. She wanted a free ride home. Because me personally, if a man disrespects me and I like with the whole Cheesecake Factory, if a guy took me, for example, TGI Fridays and we're parked outside, I'd ask him, oh, babe, are we going in there? And if he says, yeah, that, I booked a reservation for this place, I'd ask him, like, why did you feel that, that would be a realistic first date for me? Like, let's talk about it. let's actually talk about it. And if his reasons it's not making sense and whatever the case is, or maybe he's come to a realization that, oh fuck, like I haven't really fucked with the caliber of this woman, so maybe I gotta step things up a little. But with I felt so bad for him, and it was like it was coming from the wrong female. I would get it if she looked good, but she didn't. So it was like, oh no, he just fucked around with the wrong one. That's what it
No,
is.
Yasmin, for you to be 22, because I'm 26, for you to be 22, it's so funny that you said the last thing that you said, as far as you essentially said that, um, because I always say that presentation matters, um, and how people conduct themselves and how people present themselves is how most people are going to treat them in society. So like you said, if like for this woman, if you dress a certain way, if you're looking cheap, that's how most people and most men are going to treat you in society. So
Mhm.
for you to be 22 and for you to understand, because it's a lot of grown women on this app that don't understand that. They don't think that presentation matters, but like I said, they still think that they should be treated a certain way. For you to understand that, if you want men to see, and perception is reality to a lot of people, Yasmin. So if you want men to see you in a certain light, you're going to have to present yourself a certain way and conduct yourself a certain way, have a
Mhm.
certain level of decorum. Because like I always tell them, men know how to step to women. Like, if men deem a woman to be of a higher caliber, they are going to be more of a gentleman. And they're just going to do certain things that as opposed to seeing a woman as a geezer, as you guys like to say, they see her as a geezer. Obviously, they're not going to treat a geezer the same way they're going to treat a girl that they think is very peng, like, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
I By the way, the terminology of using geezer, we use it with like usually men, if that makes sense. Like if we say that, oh, he's a proper geezer, it's like he's a proper white lad, if that makes sense.
Okay, what do y'all be calling? So, like, what's the equivalent um to a woman being like a hoe in UK?
Oh damn. Um,
So, damn.
a hoe is just a hoe. Like,
Okay.
yeah, that's what it is, really.
Okay.
Just if you're giving prostitute vibes, that's what you are, you prostitute.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. Are you in uni?
yeah. I just went back into uni. Yeah,
Okay. 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 That's what's up. So
yeah.
you
So
so the man don't be treating you nice out there, yeah?
should I be honest? I've been talking to one person at the moment for the last 2 years. He's been a godsend. Like when I say I met him at work. Funny enough, like he was a customer, which they say you shouldn't really be fucking around with the customers, but he was a customer, and then we didn't speak for like a year, and then we rekindled up when I stopped working there because I was thinking I can't fuck around with my customers. You know what I'm saying? It's a bit weird. So we rekindled once I stopped working there, and he's just been amazing, really. And I think it's a lot to do with communication. Like a lot of girls get mad when the opposite sex isn't providing them with what they want, but then it's like, are you letting him know adequately that what it is that you want? Does that make sense? Like I have a lot of females that say to me, oh, but he's just not getting it, like he's not doing this and ABC, and I'm like, sometimes with men you can hint things out as much as you want. They don't get the way we speak. We talk around in loops, we go around the bushes, we don't say things directly, and in their mind everything is A equals B equals C. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's very much strategic. They don't get it. So you just have to ask them directly what it is that you want in a nice way. Don't be like, oh, I need this now, and if you can't provide it, I'm gonna go find a man that can provide it. Because now it's like, now he doesn't want to do it just because you said that type of shit. It's like he doesn't want to do it even more. So
So when you met this man, were you working at the department store or were you working like at a club?
in a club, no, I was working in Hatton Garden as a jeweler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. No, when you look like at the high end department stores here, like if you go to like Nordstrom Rack or like Target or something, or you go to Express, just these little stores in the mall, they're not paying these people for like upsells and stuff, right? But at the high end department stores, the Louis Vuittons, the Dior's of the world, like I already know how that goes. Like you said, you guys are evaluating, people's presentation and whether you
Mhm.
think they're going to spend and the amount that they're going to spend, you know. And like you said, it's kind of discriminating, but it is what it is at the end of the day. So I get it.
Yeah. And let's just talk about how left this could have gone for her if it was another type of man sitting in that car. Do you know how left this could have gone for her?
I would have left her. Listen, I wouldn't even have been in that position to start off with. But if we just want to do hypotheticals, I would have just left her on the pavement. I would have opened the door for her
To
and
get
told
out,
her that
100%.
you don't have to go inside of there, but you are going to get out of this car. And
Mhm.
I would have drove off, and she would have figured it out as a grown woman.
Mhm. I agree. I agree. Depending on how she went about it, like if she did, if a situation where obviously she's speaking to you the same way that this woman was speaking to the man, then it's like, yeah, sorry, but if you're not happy, you're more than welcome to get out. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you're more than welcome to leave. No one's holding you hostage here. It's not that situation. But yeah, again, this type of mannerism that she was speaking in, it can trigger a lot of um, what's the word? Like psychological problems in a person. This can be very triggering. She's speaking to him in
Trauma.
a very condescending manner, first. Secondly, it's in a way of like, look at me, I'm so this and I'm so that. And then it's like, it's not the right way to speak to someone who raised you at all. If you don't like it, simply just say to someone, I don't think this is the right thing for me. I explain yourself. I just tell them, you're going to book your Uber. It was lovely meeting you. Maybe we can catch up another time. Alas, that's it. There's nothing else for you to talk about. It's the way she went about it that was so disgusting that I couldn't even agree with her, because I'm very much in the whole like, yeah, um a man should treat a woman to a good restaurant, but when you conduct yourself like this, not only is the outside cheap, but the inside is cheap as well. Does that make sense? Like the way you've just spoken is
Okay,
very cheap.
her. But let
It's
me let me
disgusting.
let me ask you a question though, Yaz. Can I call
Mhm.
you Yaz?
Yeah, yeah, go for it.
Okay. Um, I know you're 22, but I mean, even in your young adult life, has there ever been has there ever been a time where um you may have been disrespectful in the way that you put off men? And I only ask because again, you're very paying, and you seem like you're a very respectful person, but a lot of young women that are very paying, you know um especially when men that have no business try to talk to them, they can be kind of disrespectful in the way they go about um putting them down, or just instead of just politely telling them, you know what, I'm not interested or something like that. There are a lot of young when women are younger and they
Mhm,
and they're looking good, they can be kind of disrespectful in how they put men down. So my question to you is,
mhm.
like you can see and acknowledge that the way this woman was talking to this man was out of place, but have you ever kind of been that way yourself?
To a certain extent, I would say definitely when I was younger, it would be a situation where I'd get so offended that when a guy that looks a particular type of way, just not my standard, wants to approach me, I'd get so offended because it's like,
Yes,
how dare you
yes,
think? No,
yes,
honestly, I would be so offended because I'm thinking, like, what makes you think in your right mind that me and you together today would work? Like, that's so
what gave
disrespectful.
you the audacity?
That is, yeah, it's the audacity. It's just, how dare you? Honestly, how dare you? Just let's take a step back, reality check for a little bit, and then come approach me when you've got a bit of realism there, because this is very much, it's all fun and
Disrespectful.
games
Let's
when you
call it
think
what it is. It's disrespectful.
You
it's very
always you
much,
always say that, Letty. You always say that.
Exactly.
it's very disrespectful. But then now I've learned that, things like that can go so left for you, especially like I'm tiny. I'm 5'1", so
Oh, you're
I'm
fun
real tiny.
size.
Yeah, I'm real tiny. So my problem is sometimes I get a bit intimidated with when
Hmm.
men are very like persistent in trying to talk to me, right? And it scares me a little because I'm thinking, okay, this could go so left for me right now. There's traffic. He could push me in front of a car. Like
Hmm.
this could just go so left to me. So you just have to think about the way you speak to people and just think like even um I was having a conversation with my boyfriend about this, right? And sometime I was telling him like you just feel so intimidated by certain men when they're just towering over you and they're very persistent of like, just give me your Snapchat, just give me your Snapchat. And you're like, no, I've
Hmm.
got a boyfriend. Oh, but I don't see him here right now. What's your boyfriend gonna do? He doesn't need to know about it. It scares you, especially at night time. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm pumping gas and you come up to me, I'm looking around, and we've got these things where we don't need to go in to pay. I don't know if the US is like that. So you just pay at the machine there and then. So it's like now I'm thinking, okay, he might just rob my car. He might rob me. He might rob my card. This
No,
can just
yeah,
go
it's
so
like you
left.
just aside from you being 5 foot 5'1", you just need to understand that not just in America, not just in the UK, there's just a lot of unhinged men out here.
100%.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of men out here that are literally walking crock pots, and they're just waiting to explode. And a lot of these unhinged men are men that have a lot of resentment towards women, are men that have a lot of just anger towards women because they just haven't been successful with girls all of their life, from people in our age demographic to men in their 30s. So like you said, I mean, you're just very self-aware, like you just need to know that you should be mindful because you, like you said, you just never know who you're talking to
Mm-hmm.
and how they can react if you like kind of be condescending and disrespectful to them. So that's good that you're aware of that type of stuff.
Yeah. I just feel like we just live in a very scary society right now. Anyone can flip. This is just, it's men and females at the same time. Like, you could say one thing to a female that might just trigger her to flip on you, you know? So it's scary on both sides because now the man might be thinking, okay, now I can't retaliate the way I would think to retaliate because now it's, oh, you're trying to hit a woman or you're trying to get cocky with a woman. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's a scary world we live in.
Yeah, definitely. You know, you know, I have female friends, and um I don't know, man. If me personally, if I was to advise women, whether they are in a relationship, whether they're like, I have female friends that when men approach them in public, they ask them for their number or whatever, they just give it to them. Because I don't know about out there in the UK, yes, but I'm sure it happens there too. But there's men out there that are like, they'll approach a woman in public and they'll ask her for her number, and then they'll call the number like in front of them to
Oh
make sure
yeah.
that they actually
Mm-hmm.
gave them a real number. And my thing is, like, we got iPhones and whatnot nowadays, like you can always block the person. So,
100%.
again, being that you don't know how they're going to, because again, yes, over here there are men that are, they will resort to calling women out of their names. They'll get physically violent with them. Some of them will even go to the extent of unaliving the woman simply because they didn't want to comply with,
Mhm.
whatever they wanted from her. So I think to keep yourself safe as a woman, man, ask you for your number, just give them your number. Like, just do whatever you got to do to make it home.
Yeah,
Essentially, what
I
I think
agree.
women should do.
It's like almost I don't know if you guys heard of it. There was a situation that happened in South London a week or 2 weeks ago where a boy stabbed a girl in the neck. She died, and it was simply because she wanted to break up with him. That was it.
Wow.
Yeah, and she would
Yeah.
imagine they were on their way to school. Well, she was on her way to school, so I'm not too sure if he was on his way to school as well. But I'm assuming if you're stabbing people in the neck, you don't really want to go to school either. So don't think he was going to school. But she was, I'm pretty sure she was 16 or 15.
Wow.
Yeah, simply because she said, you know, they broke up apparently the night before or something, and he wanted to speak about it. He brought her flowers. She said no. She was waiting for her bus at the bus stop, and then he stabbed her in the neck.